Hi there, this is Sarah from Amelia Castro, and I'm here to talk about my summer internship experience at Maine Medical Center, specifically in the EKG stress lab, non-invasive cardiology. So as I just said, my internship was at the Maine Medical Center in 22 Bramhall Street in Portland, Maine, 04102. My commute wasn't really bad. I mean, it was 30 minutes without traffic, which at 6:30 a.m. there is very little traffic. I was coming from UNE Featherman Hall to Maine Medical Center, so it wasn't too bad. And I had about 3 stations that I hit. They were about $1 to $2 each. I did end up spending quite a bit of money on gas, and it definitely didn't help that the summer gas has really skyrocketed, but it could have been worse. My commute really wasn't too bad, and again, I never really hit that much traffic, so I was pretty good. But it was important to leave early because the shuttle and parking did take up a lot of my time. My site supervisor was Jessica Bowler, the senior EKG or ECG technician at Maine Med and the non-invasive cardiology unit, and that is her contact info right there. She was really great, but we never got to take a picture together, unfortunately, while I was there at Maine Med. The facility. So I got the privilege of being at Maine Med, which is a very fully equipped hospital. They are a level 1 trauma center. That right there is the hallway that I kind of went into to go into my little room every time that I would show up. So that room right there, which is actually that room to the right. So over there, that little book that's right there is where it would list which stress tech I would work with. So whoever was in the nuclear stress lab was who I was working with, and whoever was on the schedule was either going around on the hospital taking ECG tests. That on the bottom left is what our room looked like in a way. So you have like the treadmill and the computer. So because of some confidentiality issue, I think I wasn't allowed to take a picture of our actual room, but it looked just like that. You have the computer, you have the treadmill, and then on the right would be the hospital bed for the patient that just came in. So again, specifically, I was in the EKG, echo, and stress lab in R2 in our cardiology wing. So who did I work with? I worked with these stress techs over here, as you can see. Really nice, Amanda, Allie, and Jared. They were really cool. I learned a lot from all of them, and I was able to, really become a healthcare professional because of them. We all wore scrubs, and I actually was able to learn a lot from them. Specifically, Amanda, she really taught me how to be precise, be kind to patients, really take my time with everything I do, and not be super nervous. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm very nervous and anxious, and she really taught me how to calm down and really be there for the patient. But yeah, I got to work with also sonographers, radiologists, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and doctors. So they were the ones that kind of came in that little lab coat and were able to oversee the patient and kind of take care if something went wrong or if there were really any issues with our patients while we were there. It's really important to have them, again, in case anything does happen or in case the patient just really isn't coming off of the drug that we gave them to stress their heart. And they would always have to be there whenever we did a test. We could not run a test without them, whether that was a physician assistant, nurse practitioner, or doctor. These drawings are really cool. They were outside of our room. They were made by our secretary, Tom. As you can see, they kind of had like a little play on words or joke about EKGs and stress labs stuff. So I really thought they were really cute to add to the presentation. Patients. I got to see a variety of patients. I was really lucky. All the lists here is just some of the patients that I really got to see. A lot of it was cardiology issues, of course, so aortic stenosis, valve replacement, mitral valve prolapse, hypertension, dyslipidemia, diabetes, heart transplant, heart failure, pulmonary issues, cystic fibrosis, COPD, obesity, and drugs, or were some other things that I got to see as well. So while I did see a wide variety of patients and symptoms, a lot of them were geriatric. I think my first week, all of the patients were telling me like, oh, I'm just like ready to die, because a lot of them were like 70s, 80s range and were in chronic pain or had chronic issues. But they were a really great population to work with, and I really loved the experience, and it was really great to see all these different pathologies. So what did my jobs consist of? So first, I had to be on time for the morning huddle at 6:30 a.m. with the radiologist, the APP, the Advanced Practice Provider, and other stress techs. And really, read up on the patients for the day. So we would have a list of patients, and I would have to get their code, so whether or not they were DNR, or they had their paperwork, COVID, if they had their boosters, if they had COVID, allergies, what they were allergic to, vitals, so make sure that the blood pressure was in the right line, EKG and their troponin, so make sure the EKG was normal and they had 3 troponins before they got to us, their indications and their contraindications. We had to set up the EKG room. I had to clean up the EKG room and restock our supplies, so the Rega, the gauze, the gel, the alcohol wipes, syringes, electrodes, all that. When the patient got there, I had to make sure I consented them. I placed the electrodes on them. I ran the test, and make sure that they had recovered. We couldn't send them home or back to their room if they were still hyperventilating or, throwing up or anything like that. Really make sure that they were doing well. And also at the end, make sure that they were picked up by the transport. We were never allowed to leave the patient alone. Again, it was also for their own safety and in case if they needed anything or if they were still having an adverse reaction to that drug. So I was able to have a lot of different internship duties while I was there that really helped me interact with patients. I learned a lot of really important things, but some really important things that I never really understood until I was there is how, for example, how important it is to be an early bird. It was really hard for me at first to wake up at 4 a.m. and not feel drowsy throughout the day, but thanks to that internship, I now wake up at 6 a.m. willingly. So really important to kind of get up early and leave early, especially because the shuttle and the parking alone eat up about 10 minutes of your time. So I would leave here at like 5:20 to be there at like 6:15, and I always had a really good time. Understand that these patients have not eaten or had anything to drink in 24 hours, so they're definitely cranky, they're definitely going to be a little mean or a little tired. So definitely work with them, be patient with everybody, the doctors, PAs, all that, but especially the patient, because they are not in the best mood, rightfully so. And it's really important to be empathetic, understand where they're coming from. They are all sick, scared, and don't know what you're telling them. So if you have to repeat yourself, that's okay. If you're confused, that's okay. And then again, be comfortable with seeing bodily fluids, because that will happen every now and again since they could react to the drug. And that was it. I had a really great experience.